Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today is March 2nd. It's March now. So today I am going to tell you about the books that I read in January and February. The first book that I finished in 2018 and in January was Uprooted by Naomi Novik, which I gave 5 stars. I loved this book. Oh my goodness. I really enjoyed it. It's a very long book, but not long in a bad way. It feels like a whole trilogy, but in one single book, which is awesome. It's a standalone. I don't even know how to describe what it's about. There's a malevolent forest involved, which is always super cool. Our main character has an impronounceable name. There's a wizard in a tower. It's really good, and you should read it if you enjoy fantasy. I really enjoyed this book. Oh my goodness. The next book that I read in January was Everless by Sara, Holland. Now, this was an arc that I got from, I think actually Edelweiss, and I gave it, I think, 4 stars. It was a good book. I just wasn't super gripped by it, admittedly, but it was a really good book. Basically, in this world, have you ever seen that movie In Time? Justin Timberlake? Similar to that, where basically everyone has time, but it's connected to blood in this case because it's a fantasy book. And in this world, time is money and blood is money. Time is blood and blood is money. And there's this estate called Everlist that our main character used to live there, but her and her father ran away from there. But she has to go back because she thinks her father is going to run out of time and die. So she goes there to work as a servant to earn some time in the hopes of giving it to her father. And of course, shit happens from there. Those were the only books that I managed to read in January. January was a really tough month. Could have gotten more reading done, but I didn't. I was away from home pretty much the whole month almost, and didn't get a damn thing done, it felt like. Move on to February, where I read 3 books. We're gonna move on to February, which, by the way, I have a reading vlog up for. So if you want to watch as I read these books that I'm about to tell you about, you can kind of do that. I will link it on the screen. I will link it down below. And the first book that I finished in February was Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I listened to the audiobook of this, and I didn't think I was gonna like it. At first I was kind of listening to it I've never read a Jane Austen book until now, and I didn't know if it'd really be for me. I don't have the greatest track record with classic books, and I didn't know if I'd really like this book. I had tried to start reading this as an ebook once, and I just really couldn't get into it. But the audiobook was darn good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it in the end. I was having some feelings in my heart, so I gave that 5 stars. The next book that I finished in February was Reign of the Fallen by Sara Marsh, which I have an arc for, but it's all the way over there, and I don't know where actually, and I don't want to dig it out, so I'm not gonna hold it up. I read this. I gave it a 4.5. I think that on Goodreads I put it down to a 4. I had high expectations for this book. I did a whole book review, a spoiler-free book review, which I will link down below, but basically it is about necromancy in this world where necromancers bring nobles back to life, and the same king has been ruling for 200 years, changes been outlawed, and if the dead have their shrouds torn from them, the zombie did, they become shades, monstrous shades, and someone is purposely creating shades. Dun dun dun. It has a bisexual protagonist who is a necromancer, and honestly, if that doesn't sell you on the book, I don't know what will. Last book that I finished in February, Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli, which I also listened to the audiobook for and greatly enjoyed. I listened to the 6-hour audiobook straight through from 9 p.m. to 3 in the morning. Couldn't put it down. I couldn't stop listening to it. I had to keep going to find out who Blue was and how things were going to turn out, and if things were going to turn out happy. And the movie for this is actually coming out this month, which I'm not that thrilled to see, but the book I greatly enjoyed. I gave this 5 stars because I just couldn't stop listening to it. It's very cute. It's heartwarming in a way you don't expect it to be, especially because the main character is being blackmailed throughout most of the book. but it is just, it's adorable. If you haven't read this book, you need to get on that. Like, get on this shit. Yeah, get on it. Or at least see the movie, I guess. Because I bet the movie's gonna be pretty cute too. Anyway, so that wraps up February and January. So that completes this wrap up and completes this video. So thank you so much for watching. Tell me what books you read in January and February down below, and whether you liked them. And if you've read any of the books that I've read, and if you liked them. And I hope that I will see you in my next video. Goodbye! That took 14 minutes, just because my hair's a bitch. Reading this? Stupid looking is what it is.